Hello everyone, welcome to Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque Painting Live on Thursday, September 8th at 7 p.m. Central Time. And we are working on our September box, which was called Trick or Treat. And we have the Donas Sweet Tot Pumpkin Boy and the Ghost Girl, and we finished our Pumpkin Boy last week. And this week we will be working on our Ghost Girl, and if Courtney could give me the Ghost Girl out of her cupboard here. So these are our painted samples, so we'll set them aside. So welcome everyone, and thanks for joining us. And hope you had a good week since last week. So here's our boy from last week. He hasn't been sealed yet. And then here is our girl. We had done her flesh tones when we did his flesh tones. So that would be we base coated her first, number 1 on your instructions. Number 2 was dry brush peach fuzz on the face. And now we're on number 3. We're going to dry brush the hair with lemon peel and then lightly with pale yellow. So I have my lemon peel and pale yellow. And then we kind of have a small area with this hair, so we don't want a really big brush like that. We want something smaller. See, I probably want a flat brush so I can turn it on its side. One just went for a ride. So I'm going to go with my size 3 flat brush because then I can turn it on its edge. So I have a 3 flat brush, a boar bristle brush, so it's a little stiffer brush than the nylon painting brushes. And that's what we use for dry brushing. And I'm going to shake up my lemon peel, which is OS 434 lemon peel. So it looks like we got a bunch of you guys joining us. So thank you for joining us. And I just use a little bit of aluminum foil for my palette. You can use your ceramic tile or whatever you want. Then I just dip in and get a little bit of paint on my brush. I don't go in there and get a lot of paint, and then I brush it out on my paper towel so that it's basically a dry brush. And then I want to look at my hair, and I'm going to brush across the little hair sections that are kind of flipped in the wind here. So I don't want to go with the crevices. I want to go across them so that we keep the crevices, the dark black down in the crevices for our shading. So we're just going to brush back and forth across. I start at one area. I'm going to work down this side, and then I'll come to the top and work down the other side. That way I kind of know where I've been and where I'm going and what's drying and what's wet. Grab a little more and brush it out. And then we kind of get one layer on one side, and now we'll kind of turn her so I can go across the hair up here. It's okay if you get some on her hood. You want to try to avoid getting it on her face. That's why I went with the smaller brush. I'm actually going to turn her around here so I can kind of get to the tip of her little bangs here. Again, just grab little bits of paint at a time. I do turn it on its edge while I go along the face. Just I want to be doing little strokes, not big strokes, so that I get the yellow all over her face. And then I'll round down to her chin here. And just like that, we have one layer kind of on all of her hair. So while we're on this side, the other side is drying. So I don't know, my thing don't have any comments here. I don't know where they went. Oh, they came back. Never mind. Yep. So now we'll turn her back around, and we'll come back to the other side because now that has dried. And we'll again go along her face a little bit. I have that brush turned on its side so I don't get her face all full of yellow. I don't want to do big brush strokes. Just doing little ones to help avoid that. And we're going to build up our yellow so that we just have the black down in the crevices, and we have a nice even layer of our black on top. not our black, our yellow. And we'll do her bangs here. And you just keep turning her. You don't have to keep her right side up. You have to turn your piece so it's easy, whatever's easy for you to get your brush where it needs to go and to get that paint where it needs to go. Let's see, my comments keep going away here tonight. So it looks like we got a really good bunch watching tonight, so everyone must be getting back into the swing of fall. Now that summer's kind of over, I guess, at least up here for us. Lots of leaves falling, temperatures in the 50s and 60s. So definitely fall here. So now I'm back on the other side while I'm letting the first side dry. You can see that just builds up real nice then. I should keep letting it dry. And then again, we'll come back to the other side. Well, hello to Pamela, our first time here. Awesome. We'll help you enjoy it, and you can post away, and our old videos are available on the Facebook on our page under the video tab, or you can also go to YouTube. Courtney uploads them to YouTube also. Usually on Friday morning, so they're all there to watch too. And you don't need a YouTube account to do that, right? They can just search Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque, and we should come up and you can watch away. So we have a nice layer of our lemon peel on her hair now. Nice and even, not real splotchy or blotchy or speckly. Mainly with the black down in the crevices. So now we can highlight it with our pale yellow, which is OS433 pale yellow. So let's see. Oh, Marianne says it's hot in Florida. Well, it's actually really been really nice here, although we've had rain just about every day, some kind of drizzle at least. Lots of fog when I drove down tonight already. So I'm going to use my same dirty brush so we have a nice gradual change of color from the lemon peel to the pale yellow, and I'm just going to brush that out on my paper towel a couple times just to kind of work that color in there a little bit. And now we'll just again brush across our little hair things and build that up a little bit. I don't know why the comments keep going out at like every minute here. It's kind of crazy. So Courtney's watching the comments too, but mine keep going away, so I don't know what's happening.
Don't you touch it?
No, there, see? There we go, it ain't me. So I'm just brushing again across our little hair whispers here and giving it just a little bit highlight on the top. So you can see this is a little lighter now than the other side, so we're just going to get the other side kind of the same. It won't take a whole lot. We don't want her too yellow. And then we'll come down to the last little section here and then get a little more. Well, Marianne says hers keeps going in and out too. Oh, maybe it's a Facebook thing here tonight. Huh? Probably a Facebook thing, yeah. So now I did get a little yellow on her cheeks. We can go back and dry brush that with our peach fuzz when we're all done. So you can do however pale you want her hair. It's totally up to you, or you can do a different color hair altogether. You never have to paint it exactly the way we painted it. I just paint the lives the way the sample was painted, so feel free to do whatever colors you want. Maybe you got granddaughter with a different color and you want to match that, just go ahead and do it. Okay, so we got her looking pretty good. just a little bit more, just to lighten it a little bit more. So that's good. I'm going to lay my brush aside, and then number 4, we're going to go on to our clothing, and we're going to do that with gray. Paula says, Facebook go out, never.
That was quite the day when it was gone.
Yeah. Well, Paula's got the stink bugs. So we have our gray OS474, so we're going to go from black to gray to white, so we have 3 shades. We'll get a little pile of our gray. Oh, and so there's a good example. I didn't shake it well enough. You can see all the oil or the liquid, clear liquid came out. You don't want that. You want it, oh my goodness, this thing's terrible tonight. The comments.
I think it's a new feature.
A new feature? Well, it's a sucky feature. So you do want to mix that paint up really well. So our paint has been sitting since last week. So now you can see when I squirt it out, we have a nice gray color. So here's my liquid that came out at first. You don't want that. You want a nice mixture of color. So now we have a pretty big area. So we're going to go with a little bit bigger brush here. Let's see, which one do I want? Live air.
But like it did it on yours, but not on mine.
Oh, it's doing it on mine, but not on Courtney's. I don't know. It's a Facebook thing, I guess. I'm going to start with this size. This is a size 8 round. We'll have to probably switch into a little one to get around her face and stuff, but I have an 8 round. Again, it's just a boar bristle brush for dry brushing. And again, I'm just going to go into the edge of my paint and get a little bit of my gray, brush it out on my paper towel. Do that a couple times. Now I can see all her little drapes in her ghost outfit are going down. So I want to brush across them. So you can see by brushing across them, my gray doesn't fill in my little crevices. I want to keep those with the dark shading in them. And you may have to change directions, like as it's coming around the little curve here, we're going to go up and down instead of across. So you just have to look at your piece of how your curves or your crevices are, and then just kind of change your brush strokes with that. So you want it to go on nice and light. You don't want it wet and shiny. If it's wet and shiny, you're a little too heavy with your paint. We got all kinds of comments going on here tonight. You guys must be back in the painting groove with winter scenting in. The farmhouse was slow, but it's picking up a little bit. I actually got to paint a couple pieces on Tuesday. I don't think Courtney posted any pictures yet, but she did take pictures.
You should tell them so they can keep an eye out for the mold for you.
Oh, so I had actually like 3 molds that I was kind of always been looking for. One is the Naked Lady mold, and it's a lamp, or it was a lamp, I guess, probably back in the 50s or 60s. From the Bell Company, Bell. And there is a lady in South Dakota that has one, so I may be making a road trip to go get that. Then this next one was a Kinsey Mountain Scene vase. So that one I did get here, I don't know, 2 months ago probably. And I actually did one of those too on Tuesday with rub-on metallics. Courtney said she put that on the Facebook story, so if you've seen that on there. And then the third one is the Doc Holliday Icy Lighthouse, which was actually made by Tampa Bay, but sold by Doc Holliday. And I did try getting it from Evans Ceramics that does carry the Doc Holliday molds, but that's one that they don't have. And then I believe when I tracked it down, it's Mackie Molds that has those molds up in Oregon, but you're not able to buy those. So it's Icy Lighthouse number 300, letters 300 and then A, and 300B, 300C, and then 300D. So there's a lighthouse and an icy church. So if anybody's got that mold and wants to sell it, I'd be interested in buying it. Courtney can post a picture of it. It's one of my favorite pieces, so I'm always looking for that mold. I've tried on the different groups, but no one's had it so far, but I'm sure somebody has it out there somewheres. I tried, I think it was HK Enterprises, I had suggestions, and they don't have either. I'm just like lost out there in space. But it's a really nice, cute little lighthouse. So it can be like a night light. It's a 3-piece. There's actually 3 pieces. That's why it's the ABC with the number. So there's a rock base and that the light clips into, and then there's the lighthouse, and then there's the front, which is a little boat that sits on it. So it looks like it's all covered with snow. So then I do I paint it navy, and then I dry brush it with baby blue and then white. And then I put I seal it with satin sealer, put a bunch of snow and glitter on it, and it's just one of my favorite pieces. So I think Courtney's posting a picture. I don't know where she's putting it. Courtney says she'll put it on we should do it now while they're watching. Well, but we're talking about it, so. Courtney says she'll do it tonight. She says she'll do it later. She has to watermark it so no one steals it, basically. Because people like to do that and claim it as their own. So let's see. My good old comments keep going away here. Also, some of you did see the vase with the metallics on it. Yeah, I'm going to try to look for, I did mainly silver, and then I did silver over the whole thing, and then I went back and put copper over, just a little bit of copper on the rocks and then a little bit of blue on the river. And I'd like to get some green to put on the trees, the little branches on the trees. I think that would add a lot to it. So I usually don't have time to paint, but Tuesday I had time to paint and got both of those done. And then I also did the Donas Impressions. It was a pumpkin. The name of the mold, it's a Doc Holiday mold, and it's called Icy Lighthouse. And then there's also an Icy Church. It's ICY and then Lighthouse. And then it's or the church. I would be happy with all of it, but. And then it's number 300A, 300B, 300C, and 300D. So there's more than one piece to it. It's probably about 15 inches tall. So if anybody has that, I'd be interested in buying the mold. So could you possibly do a class with the rub-on metallics? We did a class with the rub-on metallics back probably a year ago. You could always look at that one. We'll check into doing another one. The problem is that the metallic palette that we used is supposedly discontinued, and some businesses may have them like backstocked and can sell them, but we would need a huge number for the box. So I just added more gray, and I got a whole enough for an army here. Huh?
Could do a video without the box.
So Courtney said we could do a video without the box. We could probably do that. She has a new computer, so some of that's coming down the pipeline as we get time. So you can look forward to that, I guess. We need to kind of clone ourselves, but we'll get there and get it. So I'm just working my gray all over my the little white outfit, ghost looking outfit. And you can do it as much as you want, but I'll show you our finished piece. So you can see we have a lot more to go. There's only a little bit of the black left down in the crevices, so you just keep working around your piece. Start in one area and just keep working around and around. So now I kind of made it all the way around, and now I'm back to the front. And we're just going to keep building it up. So you can see as it dries, as you let it dry, it starts taking the paint a little more and just building up the gray color. I usually say that I let about 10% of the black left on the I guess on the actual surface. So Elizabeth thinks she might have it. I would just be so thrilled, you just have no idea. I'd probably jump up and down, and
I'll film it.
I will even I'd even make one and send it to you. You could have your own special piece of a lighthouse that I did. It's called the Icy Lighthouse and the Icy Church. That would be really awesome. Oh, Marianne says she's seen them. Yep, it's a really pretty piece, and it's really pretty the way I did it, and it's so super simple. You just dry brush it and snow it and glitter it, and so you never know who's got it and where it might be, but maybe we'll find it one day.
Well, she could post pictures in the comments.
Huh? Oh, you can't post a picture? Oh, then you could do it. Oh, you can't, huh?
No.
What if you took, even if you took a picture of it, you couldn't post it?
Might.
I should have brought it along and I could have showed them.
Hold on, I might have a workaround.
Courtney's thinking, you guys, she might have a workaround. I was thinking she could take a picture of it and like post it in the comments. I don't know. I should have brought it along. That's what I should have did. So we're just, again, slowly going with our gray, building that up on this whole little hood and the whole little ghost outfit, being careful around the edges of our hair. I kind of did leave it a little, the black kind of around the face, just to kind of highlight the face a little bit with the black. I'm kind of doing like I kind of call it a C-stroke. I don't usually just brush back and forth.
I don't know if it'll work or not.
So Courtney brought it up on the tablet. So can you see if it's in the screen?
I think so.
So that's the Icy Lighthouse. You can't see the glitter on here, but it's really glittered up. It's really awesome. And I used the chunky glitter. Can you see if it's in the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Should I bring it up?
Yeah, you're good.
So that's the Icy Lighthouse. The boat is one piece, this base is one piece, and then the lighthouse is another piece, and then the light comes from behind the boat and in front of the lighthouse. It's really cool. So that's the mold I'm looking for. It's called Icy Lighthouse by Doc Holliday, but it's actually a Tampa Bay design. It's mold 300A, 300B, 300C, and 300D. I don't have the church, but that's the lighthouse. So that was cool. Courtney figured out a workaround, you guys. Look at that.
Around for a reason.
So maybe if she posts the picture tomorrow, you'll be able to see the glitter more on it. But I used the chunky glitter, and that really, instead of just the fine glitter, I really like that on it. Okay, so now we're back to painting. Let's see, Patricia says, do you put a sealer on the bottom of your pieces? So anytime I spray seal my pieces, I also spray seal the bottom of them. So yes, I do seal the bottoms always, the whole piece as much as you can. If it's something that's going outside, it could be fired with a glaze inside it. So if you want to do that with your pieces you get from us, you can, because we do fire to cone 04, and then the glaze would be to 06 usually. If you don't glaze fire it, you can. I use the Thompson's water sealer for clay and tile that you can buy in the home improvement department. Pour that inside and then swish it around and then dump it out and let it dry. That takes a bit for that to dry, a few days. That's what we did with your stepping stones. So that's insides are sealed too. It's especially important to do that in like for your freeze thaw areas, but you actually want to bring them in your freeze thaw areas and not let them out over winter. So you can see we're just building up our gray on here, letting our black down in our crevices. Going across all of our little textures, and just keep lightly brushing and building it up a little at a time. Going right down to the bottom, which I almost forgot to do the bottom. I also always do my bottom so the bottoms look good as well. So if someone picks them up and looks at it, your bottom looks nice. And then we'll switch her around here so I can do the Wanda wants Icy Lighthouse. Yeah, if we could only find that bugger.
You just had a piece of it.
Yep, I just had the bisque. I actually got it from our local shop, but that lady unfortunately passed away of cancer 2 years ago, so I'm not able to get them. But if we ever can find that mold somewhere, we'll see what we can do. So now I'm brushing back and forth on the little hood here to bring that up to the color of the rest of it. Well, I really don't like how these comments go away constantly.
I think it's because if there's so do they come back now?
Well, every time I go over there and sweep it.
I was thinking it was because like if no one comments, it disappears.
Oh, I don't know. So Talisa says when you glaze, no, because like she just commented and it went away while I'm reading it. How do you get the dark areas like in gnome beards when you glaze? I'm not sure what you mean, Talisa.
Like the shadowing, like when you're glazing a piece and you...
Oh, so I guess if I was glazing a piece, I would probably use underglazes, paint my underglazes on, have it fired, and then take a dark brown or a dark black underglaze and thin it like a wash. Paint that on there and then wipe it off, kind of like we do with our color washes. And the dark color will stay in your crevices. And then you let that dry really well, maybe for a day. I like to let it dry longer than not glaze it right away. So I like to let them dry for a day and then come back and brush the clear glaze over it. And then you can fire it. That's how I do it. So for glazing anyway.
I have a little ghost. I want to paint. Suggestions on what colors to do for a ghost.
So we have a question on colors of what to use for a ghost. So this one we're doing a ghost, right? I mean, this is a ghost outfit. So I use the black, gray, and a white. If you want more of a purple hue to your ghost, for example, on the little boo bag here, we did that black and then we dry brushed it a dark purple, and then our white, and that gives that gray hue to it compared to the white. So I can put them next to each other. You can see the boo bag is more of a purple hue, and then she's more of a white. I like to do purple or like a lime burst on the ghost too, and I was actually going to do the purple on this one, and I forgot and just went ahead with the gray. So there's a couple ways you can do your ghost. I mean, I would dry brush it, just base coat it black, and then decide if you want it to have a green hue, purple hue, or like a midnight navy hue, or if you just want it to be the white like what we're doing. And then I would do whatever color you picked, and then you could go to a lighter shade of that color and then to the white, or you could go right to the white too. I tend to do an extra shade. I usually like 3 shades, but really you do have the 3 shades because of the black, your purple, and then your white. So that'll work too. So hopefully that answers that. I can't see comments, so you'll have to tell me, Courtney.
So this is perfect.
Perfect? Okay, good. Yeah.
Figure it out. And Chuck said to wash it first.
Yep, that's kind of the... So we're just building up our dry brushing on here. You can see it's very patchy. Really, we just want our black in the crevices, so I want to build that up so it's more even. Try to get underneath her chin and along the edge here as well. It's okay if we get it on the little mask, because we'll be painting that out later. So on this more of a smooth area, instead of brushing back and forth like I do across the crevices, I do more of a C-stroke. I'm just doing it slow now so you can see it, but that kind of blends that color down into those smooth surfaces a little bit more. So you kind of get more a better coverage that way instead of just brushing back and forth. But you can brush back and forth too. It's just kind of a matter of preference. And then you can leave as much black showing through as you want. I tend to not leave a lot showing through. I just use it for the shading to give that piece depth. So I usually say there's about 10% of the black or whatever base coat color you used left. So you can see there's not a lot of black left. It's just mainly in those crevices where that shading is going on. So let's see, we got more questions here. Faye says, what did she miss? Not too much. Well, you missed the picture of the lighthouse, but you can go back and watch that later. It's just a mold that we're looking for. It's Doc Holliday's mold 300, the icy lighthouse. And then I did actually take another lighthouse that we had and a rock base from another piece, and then a Christmas tree. And you'll take a picture of that to show them. And then I painted that with the navy and then dry brushed it with the baby blue and then the white and then put the snow and the glitter on it. And it looks just as pretty. It's just that I'm just spoiled and I like the icy lighthouse better. But it still achieved the same, kind of the same look. I mean, it's not exactly the same because of just the design of the lighthouse with the snow on it. But we put the no fire snow on it, and it got the same, kind of got the feel of it's still pretty and it's kind of got the same feel. It just ain't the same. It's kind of like eating a Hershey's bar versus a generic one from the dollar store. There's just a little bit of difference, but you can still do it. So it'll still suffice. I mean, if you didn't see the icy lighthouse one, you wouldn't know. I mean, I just know because I've seen it and done it, but you could do that with a different lighthouse like I did, and it still looks fine. Purple is another good color to do that with the lighthouses, with real dark purple. Navy or purple are the two colors I like for that. So you can see we're getting our little ghost outfit here looking pretty even with our gray, just with our gray down in our crevices. Now I did just get a little gray on her hair, so we'll have to touch that up. You want to make sure you get on the top of your little arms so those aren't left black. And same with underneath, you want to get underneath where the little arm is underneath there, where the little trick-or-treat bag is. And then you want to get onto your bottom so your bottom looks good. That's especially important if you're helping kids that are in 4-H's, because the judges do check those bottoms to make sure they're done. So if the kids have to do it, we should be doing it too. And if you're showing your piece to somebody, you just want to pick it up and they happen to look at it, you want it to look like it's finished and professional underneath there. Okay, so I think we got enough gray on our black here. So from there, we're going to go to white. See if I can get these comments back. So Chuck asks, is this a Donna mold? Yes, this is a Donna Sweet Tot mold. There's several pieces to the set. We did have them, but I think Courtney, are they still listed or not?
Everything's pulled down.
Everything, Courtney has all the add-on Bisque pulled down right now because we're boxing. We're in the middle of the boxing and we didn't want anyone to add it and then we'd miss it. But she'll be putting that back live after we get back in the swing here. So I'm just working my white into my dry brush a little bit. I do like to save a brush, a set of dry brushes just for white and not use them for anything but white, so we have more of a purer white. But I am going right from my gray brush to my with white in it. And now I'm going to lightly brush over my little textures here again. And it'll probably end up with a little bit of a really light gray hue to it instead of the pure white. And to do that, you would need a really pure, clean, fresh white brush. So that's usually why I save a brush just for white, because it seems like no matter what color you had in there and how much you washed it, that still when you use white, it still has that, picks up that hue of that colors that's in those brushes. I don't have an extra set here that's just for white, but in my box when I paint I do. That's just kind of my little thing. And everybody has their own little tricks and tips and what they do. So that's one of mine, is to get really pure white, is to have a set of brushes just for white. So we're just brushing back and forth, going over all these little crevices, and I'm working. I started in the back. I do like to start in the back, so if I get too much on or make a mess, at least it's in the back. And then I work my way around to the front. That's generally what I do, but sometimes when I get to talking here, you kind of forget what you're doing and don't always do what you do. Because it's hard to make the brain work and think and talk at the same time, I guess. Kind of like can you scratch your, rub your belly and scratch your head thing at the same time and talk and walk. You can see we're just working our way around, getting a nice layer, just slowly building up. We don't do it all at one time. Don't do one spot all at one time. We get a nice layer over the whole thing, work our way around. Then where we started is dry, and then we can start back with another layer and just keep building it up. So you can see we have her whole bottom part is with a white layer now. So now I'll go on to her little hood. And I'm going to actually turn her upside down to do that. I'm trying to kind of hold her on the table so that it's not shaking and bouncing around when we're, for you guys to watch. So that's why it's actually on the table. I'd probably be holding it in my lap if I was doing it at home or at the classroom. I just kind of tend to hold things in my lap when I'm painting, just to steady them. So that's why I'm just steadying it on the table so it's not moving a lot. So, paint what's comfortable for you. There's tons of ways usually to do everything. There's not just one way to do anything. So one person might dry brush one way and another one's going to dry brush a different way. So just try, listen to everybody and try to work out whatever, what works for you. And maybe you're going to combine different techniques, or use one over the other, or use one technique for one project and a different technique for a different project. There's nothing wrong with that. So it's a very forgiving art. A lot of new people seem to be getting interested in it all the time, which is great. It's also been hard for the manufacturers, but they're working through it, so be patient with them too. In the shops, it's hard to get supplies. We ordered supplies and there's things that didn't come in, and there's nothing the supplier can do about it, and there's nothing we can do about it, but you just work around it and be nice to each other and come up with new innovations for new things. So let's see.
I'll probably be done shipping the box on Saturday.
So Courtney's hoping to be done shipping the box late Saturday, so it's still a work in progress. It's been a lot of work this month. Where I am put her a little behind because of the kilns, getting the kilns switched out, but it needed to be done when it was done, and it backed things up a little bit, which I knew it would, but we needed to have the kiln switched out, and we're getting there. We still have one to get to the classroom, so hopefully everyone will get will they get their emails by late Saturday, or maybe later?
I might stay around, so it'll be over the weekend. If I send too many at once, they spam me. I get
So your invoices will be coming over the weekend. She cannot send them all at one time, because then the server, the computer server thinks it's spam, and then they don't send them. So they'll be coming over the weekend. So sit tight. We are working on your boxes, and their shipping is just, we're a little got a lot going on here. We've been had to go get some molds. I'm actually going to a place on Sunday that we may be able to get a bunch of manufacturer catalogs from. It's a shop that someone bought a house and the person before them left everything there, and they do have like 8 binders of mold catalogs and flyers, so that's a good asset to have for the shop for reference for everyone. So we are doing that I'm doing that on Sunday. So there's just always a lot going on here, which
It takes me a couple days to get everybody shipped out.
Yep, and shipping, like to get everybody so everyone gets the right stuff, because you guys have been adding on really great with the Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque. Add it to your box and then pick the Farmhouse pickup for the free shipping. So that's just, it creates a little more extra work as far as more stuff to clean and pour and get wrapped and all that. So, but as you guys know, Courtney does a great job with the wrapping, and we've had very little breakage over the last 2 years, which is great. I know we had a bigger item, a frog. I think it's the toads actually broke. So Courtney says she was pushing the limit with it, but I did. I'm pouring. It's poured, and I'm going to clean and fire that for our customer and replace that. And Courtney takes care of all that. If like the packages are damaged and a claim needs to be filed with the post office, Courtney takes care of that. So we take care of you guys, and you just got to let us know. And what? Not often, fortunately.
I knew I was pushing a little bit on that.
As far as the size, or because it was hollow, or?
Because I tried to get under a cubic foot.
Oh, she tried to get it under a cubic foot, so. The postage goes up a lot if something's over a cubic foot, so that's why we pick a lot of the extra bisque that we pick, is to keep the pieces under a cubic foot, so that helps with shipping. So now we have our white layer on our whole piece, and I can show you the other piece. So we've done probably 2 or 3 coats. You can see that our finished piece is still a lot lighter. So this is the stage where people usually say, is this enough? And I usually have to say, no, a little bit more. That's probably going to follow me to my grave and be on my gravestone, but so we're going to go with a little bit more. And we just a little bit more and it'll be fine. So we're going to go with another layer of our white. So you can see just on that arm how much whiter that got compared to over here. So that's that little bit more, and it just makes your piece more finished and more colorful, and it just makes it better. We don't want all that black coming through our white areas. We just want that black down in the crevices. So we're gonna keep building up our white. We'll let not completely white, because we want some of our gray in there too. But I'm just getting another layer. Like you can just see this whole area now is whiter than this whole hat. So hopefully you can see that this is a lot whiter than the hat. So that's why I say that little bit more usually, because it usually needs just that 1 more or 2 more coats of it. That was always the hardest thing for me to know how much, because my pieces usually were finished at this point. But they weren't quite right, and then that's where that little, just getting myself to put that little bit more on it, brought that color out more and just made them look better. So I think that's probably the area where most people get stuck at, is knowing how much more, or if they have enough. Probably 9 times out of 10, they need a little bit more. So hopefully that helps you guys too, because like you're not sitting here with me, so I don't know, but usually that's the case, is you need that little bit more times than not. So I would say go with a little bit more if you're not sure, if you're questioning it, you're questioning yourself, just go with a little bit more. So you can just see how much that's improved from the head. Like the head is gray, yet we're actually getting our white coming through. So if you had base coated this with the black, or say the dark purple, or the like a dark green line or a lime burst, you would have more of a purple hue to your white coming through, which is kind of gives it that moonlight look to it. So that's a good ghost underneath color too. So we need a little bit more paint here. So a little bit more of everything always, usually. And then you brush pretty lightly on this. I'm not bearing down really hard. I'm brushing fairly light. I don't want it to go on a lot at one time. You want several layers, several light layers versus 1 or 2 heavy layers. If your paint is wet and shiny when it goes on, it's too much for dry brushing. You need to brush it out a little more. The other thing is to not grab so much paint when you are getting paint in your brush. A lot of people go in there and get all kinds of paint and then brush it out. I'm just grabbing and bring this up. I just grab just a little tiny bit of paint on there and then brush that out. So I'm not actually wasting all that paint by just grabbing a bunch of paint and brushing it out. You just need to grab just a little bit of paint, just to basically dampen the tip of that brush. Brush that excess out on the paper towel, and then come to your piece and brush nice and light. I'm changing my direction here. I'm going up and down. Here I'm going more crisscross because we got that angle of the fold. So you want to look at your piece of where those crevices are and go across them as much as you can. If you go with them, you're going to fill them in and lose that shading from your black or whatever your base coat color was. And then again, we want to come onto the bottom, make that bottom look as good as the rest of it. Grab a little more and brush it out. So now we have this gray hood. You can see the whole cape on the bottom is white, but our top is gray. So now we're going to go to our top and get some white on there. Or I should say more white on there because we've put some on. But it's just nice, light, thin layers. And you just keep building them up and let them dry in between. I started at the bottom of the hood and I'm working to the top. That way the bottom can dry and I can come back and add another layer after it's dry. So now I was going across our little crevices here, but now we have a little crevice going a different direction, so I have to change my brush direction and go across those in a different direction. So we have a question if I'm going to paint the Sweet Tot Witch. Oh, I think we may be doing that during our Halloween party, which is... Oh, because you know what? I think we scheduled a class at the classroom that night. We're going to have to look at that. But we were going to have the Halloween party, I think, on the Friday the 29th. But we just scheduled a class at the classroom because I forgot all about it. Yeah, right? The mosaic, the cobblestone dragonfly, or didn't we do that?
I haven't officially done nothing, no.
Oh, if you haven't officially done it, I guess we can. So do you guys want a Halloween party on Friday the 29th, I guess? We could paint the Sweet Tot Witch and probably do a couple giveaways. I guess post yay or nay, and we'll take it from there, I guess. Or we could do it Saturday night too. Because I've been telling the classroom Friday for the mosaic dragonfly.
We did Saturday, the 30th.
The party,
Yeah.
Halloween party, Saturday night.
Hold on Saturday night. You just told them the 29th Friday.
You lost me. Tell who?
Everybody that's listening, you told the 29th of Friday, and then we switched.
Because I think we had told them the 29th originally, right? Here.
Okay. What are you doing when?
Didn't we originally tell the Bisque boxers the 29th?
Possibly.
You guys want it on Friday night or Saturday night? Let's do that. Saturday would be better, Kathleen says. Okay, you guys want your Halloween party on Friday night or Saturday night? So let us know, post away.
On the opposite, you're going to do the dragonfly.
And then the opposite, I'll do the mosaic dragonfly at the class. Cobblestone, sorry. So now I'm looking at this and I can see it's kind of splatchy looking. It looks like Saturday.
Okay.
So I have like a lot of white here, a lot of white here, a lot more gray here, white here, gray here. So I don't want it splatchy like that. So we're gonna build that up just a little bit more. So it looks like we'll do that on We'll have our Halloween party on Saturday the 30th then.
You want to do like 6 o'clock so you can drive home earlier? Or wait, you're at the classroom until 3.
Yep. It don't matter. Either way, I got to drive in the dark, so. Probably at 7, huh?
Saturday the 30th.
So Saturday the 30th at 7 p.m. we will have a Halloween party, so we'll paint the Sweet Tot Witch. And then we'll probably have a couple giveaways to go with that. I don't know, Courtney, we've done a few things with, I don't know, questions and you guys answer stuff and just have a little fun time.
I had trivia last
Trivia. She had trivia. I'm sorry. She had trivia, you guys. So I guess we'll have trivia or something.
Trivia 2.0.
Trivia 2.0, she said. How's that? Okay, so we're just building up that white so I'm not splotchy. We want it nice and even. We still want our black down in our crevices, but I don't want like a lot of white here and no white here, so that's what I'm trying to even out. So you want to look at your pieces for that. So yeah, join us on the Saturday the 30th at 7 p.m. and Central Time, and we'll have a little Halloween, huh? We'll have a little Halloween party, trivia, couple giveaway type of things. And we'll paint the Sweet Tot Witch. So if anybody got the Sweet Tot Witch, you can paint along. I don't know if Courtney's got extras to... Only one or two? Man, I thought I poured a ton of them.
I put a couple on the shelf and they sold.
Oh, okay. Well, you're kind of done with the invoicing anyway, so. But the video will be saved, and you could always order her for your in your November box. After Courtney puts things back up on the.
Oh darn! She didn't have the lighthouse.
Oh, she don't have it. Yeah, see, that bugger is a hard one to find. I tell you. We'll find it one day. We'll see. You never know who's got it. I did, like I said, I did do a different lighthouse, and Courtney can post a picture of that when she takes that. But and it looks fine. It's not that it doesn't look good. I just like the other one better. Just one of those things. So I'm just building up my white here a little bit more. She's looking pretty good. Probably need a little more on the front here. And you kind of have to get in that little crevice underneath the shoulder or above the shoulder. So I think she's good, so we can go on to our next number. So Susan says, holy smokes, I had no idea that I could dry brush underglaze. So we're actually not dry brushing underglaze, we're dry brushing with acrylics.
You could do the same concept or no?
It would be, it's kind of hard to dry brush with underglazes. Someone had a question about how to make the crevices deep darker with the glaze project, and we were just talking about how to do that. We're actually using acrylics here tonight, but we're glad you found us, and you can always go back and watch our other videos and take your tablet to your senior class, and you guys can watch videos together and check us out. So we are using acrylics with our boxes. We pretty much only we only do non-fire techniques. It's not pretty much, that is what we do, because when we started this, it was with the thinking that people didn't have access to kilns, or shops, local shops, so that's why we do the non-fire techniques. Yeah, so the video does freeze once in a while, Kathleen. That's kind of, I think it's a Facebook problem. Courtney's actually looking at switching us over to YouTube Live. So we're working on that. So now I'm going to go back to my pale yellow and just touch up the ends of her hair here where we got the gray and the white on it. So you do have to go back and touch up a little bit. Not too bad though, because we don't want that white on the end of her hair. So Kay says no kiln in Florida. Yep, there's most people don't have access to a kiln today. That's kind of what started this whole thing, that people don't have access to ceramic shops. That's what started this, and me not wanting to drive 2.5 hours to work a day. Okay, so we have our yellow touched back up on her hair. And so let's see, what's our next little thing? We got the number 4, we got the ghost clothing done. We're going to dry brush our treat bag with rust and then hot orange. So we're going to grab our rust, which is OS 454 rust 454. And we're going to do our little treat bag with rust because I want it to be kind of a pumpkin looking thing. And let's see, I need a smaller brush, so I'm going to go to just use this round size 3 brush. Round size 3 I'm using. Whoop, and I went into the white, I want to go into the rust. And then we're going to brush that out. So now I'm going to brush my rust onto my little treat bag here. It's okay if we get it on the hand. You just want to be careful not to get it on your ghost outfit. Kind of doing that C-stroke across the trick-or-treat word so that I don't fill it up with the rust. I want to keep that with the dark letters. So I have to ask, how you just found us on Facebook, or did you find us somewhere else and then you came to Facebook to watch us, or how'd you find us? Let us know how you found us. Oh, yeah, we can ask. So Cordy says we should ask everybody that. How did you guys find us? Anyone that's watching and found us? One of the ladies, we had a visitor at the shop on Saturday, Diane, who just found us, but she actually found us on YouTube and not on Facebook. So how did you guys find us that are watching us? Oh, look at there. Faye found us on YouTube. I had told them that you're researching into us switching to the lives on YouTube. Possibly for the November box. We didn't want to do it now with the October box because you guys already paid for it. But I do believe starting with our November box, we will be doing our lives on YouTube. You don't need an account to watch on YouTube. But Courtney, you can go right to YouTube to watch us. Otherwise, Courtney will be posting the link on Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque. And then it'll take you right, you can click on there if you don't know how to use YouTube, and it'll take us right to you. So it'll be a learning experience to me, but Courtney's got it figured out, so.
And we should have closed captioning then too.
So there's a couple reasons for that. It should stop this freezing that people are having. YouTube doesn't have that problem. We'll be able to have closed caption again because when Facebook changed things last year and took away the closed captions on the business pages. So that's another reason we have several customers that need the closed captioning, so we'll be able to have that back. Faces. I am anti-social media. Okay, YouTube first. I'm really surprised, you guys. I had no idea. Okay. So, I mean, we'll still be on Facebook doing stuff, and we'll still have the Bisque Box group and all that. It's just that the live itself will be over YouTube.
And I'll put the link on Facebook.
And Courtney will be putting the link on Facebook, so you'll just have to click on it and go to it. She does say, she did tell me that we can still do our conversations live back and forth, and it should actually be better than the Facebook stuff. So that will be with our November box. If it doesn't work, we can always come back to Facebook. We'll just see how it goes, and hopefully she is 100% thinks it's going to be better. So, so that's kind of where we're going with that. So it gives you opportunity to know before you purchase your next box. But it actually should be better. Should be a lot better than what we have now on Facebook. So.
I think the video quality.
Cordy also thinks the video quality is going to be better. We shouldn't have the kind of the, I don't know what you'd call it, the streaming issues we're having. So where it kind of freezes up and all that. So, and then she thinks the picture quality itself will be better too. So the resolution, that's what it is. The resolution should be a lot better. So you can see we're getting our little treat bag all done up with rust. When I get along the little girl's ghost outfit, I start away from it and then just gradually start going towards it, and I can see where my rust is going down so that I don't get rust all over my white. I'm not doing big brush strokes next to the white. I just start away from it and then gradually nudge up to it. And so now we have that pretty much covered, nice and even. Just our black down in our crevices basically, which gives us that shading we want. And from there we are going to go to, and get our comments back. Oh, so Dee says, awesome. Can you still save it under the video tab on Facebook? She's not sure, but Courtney will do her best to get it all figured out so you guys all have access one way or another.
I've also been putting them on our website. So.
Courtney says she also has them on our web page, Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque. So the videos are also on there. You can go there to watch them too. Okay, so now we are going to go to, I'm going to get back where our treat bag is here. Hot orange and then orange peel. So I have hot orange, OS 439 hot orange. We're going to kind of make the little treat bag look like a little pumpkin. I'm going to use my same dirty brush because we're going to, that'll have a nice gradual color change then from our rust to our hot orange. Work it in my brush a little bit. And now come to my treat bag and just brush that right over the top of my rust. Usually rust or oranges and reds, I will put a rust underneath them. It just helps that color come a lot easier than going straight from white or black to the orange or the red. You could have a terracotta or the rust. I just usually grab the rust because that's what I have in the bucket here. And then we're just brushing back and forth on our little treat bag here, getting the top. So the Facebook switch to YouTube is going to be for the November box. So if there's a problem of it, we'll switch back to Facebook. But Courtney really don't foresee any problems. She really thinks it's going to be a lot better. So we'll see. We'll work it out if it isn't. And
you have more chat features.
Courtney says YouTube has more chat features too, which will make it easier actually for you guys too. So hopefully it's a good transition and we won't be getting froze up like we are now. And it just should be a good switch. So so we're just building up our hot orange here. So your November box is, and I can show you at the end here tonight.
No, October.
Oh, the October. I'm sorry. I have the October box. I meant the October box, Courtney. I have the October box pieces here. We can show you those again tonight when I'm done. I think there's a couple left to purchase yet.
There should be a little bit for sure.
Courtney says a little bit for sure. I mean, I think there's probably...
How close we are.
Huh?
I'm not sure how close.
Yeah. Probably between 5 and 10.
Closer to 5, I would say.
Huh?
Closer to 5.
Closer to 5. So you can go to Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque and still purchase those. Either subscribe if you want to get them automatically every month, or you can just do a one-time purchase if you just want to try it and see. So now we have our hot orange on there. So now I'm going to go to orange peel, which is OS 438, and just highlighted it a little bit. Yeah, so Vicky was worried about Facebook. Yeah, we just don't know what's going to happen with Facebook. I mean, that's another reason to go to YouTube.
They're setting it up so you have to pay.
So we just think it's a good time to switch. More for the better quality. We want to have better quality for you guys.
And we do have a few of these that use the closed captioning.
And then because of the closed captioning is the other reason. So
Like they have to wait for the replay.
So now we have our orange peel, and I'm just going to highlight where the trick or treat is. Just kind of make that like the little light, moonlight is shining on it. Just to kind of bring that out to intention. We do have quite a few followers on, or subscribers on YouTube already, so you can go on there and subscribe, and you'll get notices just like you do on Facebook. I mean, we'll still be posting stuff on Facebook like we have been all along. It's just that we're going to do the live of the painting on there because we think it'll be a better quality for you guys. And then I'm going to do just the top here a little bit, like the moonlight is hitting the top of her little bag. So that is kind of it for that. So hopefully you guys like it. If you don't like it, you'll have to let us know too. So Kathy found us on Facebook. Oh boy. Oh, Faye, you're funny. So let's see what else we got. Marianne's glad we're switching. Linda wants to know when we can order the other pumpkins.
You're going to have another batch for the November box.
Yep, so we'll have another batch for the November box, the 3 extra ones. Is that what you're talking about, Linda, I guess? Yeah. Yep, I'm going to have to let the molds dry. It'll be limited, though. Maybe 10 to 12 sets. Yeah, the molds are really wet from pouring them so much. Okay, so now we're going to go on to number 6. And we're going to be working on the shoes, the gloves, and the mask. And we want that kind of purplish. And we can't get a really dark purple right now. So you can make your own colors. A lot of times just by adding either black or white. So we want it darker, so we're going to just add a drop of black to this. So I just have regular purple, OS 452. OS 452 purple. And you want to make sure you have enough for what you're going to do because it's hard to match the colors. And then we have OS 476 black. And I'm just going to add a drop, probably 2 drops to it. Hopefully you can see that. So I always add my dark color to my light color. So you can see we have a lot of purple and a little bit of black. And then I like to use a palette knife so we don't wreck our brushes, or if you have a brush with the angle on the end, you can do that. So I got way too much black maybe. So you can see it doesn't take a lot. So I probably only needed 1 drop of black. So we'll have to add a little more purple. So that's why you don't add your light color to your dark color, because usually you'll put a pile of black and then try to add your purple, and it would take a ton of purple to get it to where you want it. So you can see it's making it darker. So we have a shade darker of our purple now. So I'd probably only add like 1 drop of the black to your little puddle. And you can do this with any color. The other thing you could do is add white if you wanted to go lighter. So we're going to go with the darker. And then we'll highlight with our purple. So let's see, we have little areas. So I don't want a really big brush here. This guy's a little worn out. Okay, we'll just go with this number 5. I'd probably go with a number 3 if I had it in my bucket, but I don't. A 3 flat, but I'm going to go with my 3, this 5 round. Get a little bit of my purple. And I don't like this one, it ain't soft enough. So I'm going to go with this 3 round. So I have a 3 round instead. And we'll work that in there. You just don't want to use big, like big size 10. You can see it's as big as a shoe. So you don't want to, you'll have that everywhere. So we're just going to take our 3 round, or a 3 flat would probably be the ideal size. And we're going to work our dry brush our purple onto our shoes and our mittens. Again, I start away from where the shoes meet the cape, and I just kind of brush towards it where I can see where my paint is going on. Now we'll let that one dry and go to the other shoe. So if anyone has any questions about the lives going to YouTube and with the November box, just message us and Courtney will take care of you. She's pretty good with all the technical issues, and if you just have a question about it, that's fine. So now we'll let the shoes dry and go on to the mittens. And again, we're just going to brush back and forth across it. You can see that lets the black down in the crevices. If you wanted, you could touch up the mittens with the black where the white is, but the purple is going to cover it up. It's not that big of a deal.
YouTube, I have the boxes organized by playlist.
So Courtney says she has the on YouTube. If you go there to look at our previous boxes, they're organized under the playlist. Each box has its own playlist, so you could find like the January box, and it's going to have a playlist, and you can watch them 1, 2, 3, 4 right in a row. Mm-hmm. So it should be a lot nicer for the replays.
You don't have to hunt anything down.
She says you don't have to hunt them down. Like you kind of got to search through the videos on YouTube, on Facebook, where she actually has the playlist by the month. So I think you guys will like it better too. So now I'm doing our other mitten, or his glove, her glove. So again, I'm starting away from where it meets the trick-or-treat bag, and then slowly bringing the brush forward where I can see where the paint is going, so I'm not getting purple all over my treat bag. I'm not making those big dry brush back and forth sweeps, so it's just little strokes. So if you have little areas, you kind of got to do little strokes. This is probably where I prefer the flat brush more, because I can turn it on its edge. The round brush, you just have a lot of bristles there. And we'll flip it over and get the back. So these were fun little pieces. I wasn't really sure you guys would like the Sweet Tots because they're older. They're not, even though our molds are new molds that we buy from our supplier, it's an older style because Donna's no longer in business. So even though we can get the new molds, they have the masters to make them. I wasn't sure you guys were liking them, but it seems like you guys did like them, so that's good. So now I'm just going back over my other purple areas here and building this up a little bit. I can still see a little bit of white on the top of my shoes, so I want to slowly work that purple towards that ghost outfit so we don't see all that white between the shoe and the outfit. We just want that white on the outfit, the costume, I guess I should say. And a little bit onto the bottom. And then we'll come back and get another layer on our gloves. Doing the same thing, working away from the white, and then start away from it and work towards it so you can see where your paint is going on without getting that purple all over her white. And then you just keep turning it. So again, we'll do the 30th at 7 p.m. with our Halloween party. Not sure what Courtney's all gonna have lined up for you guys, but it'll be something good, I'm sure.
For sure, Trivia 2.0. So.
She says Trivia 2.0, which then that's a giveaway. We'll have giveaways, so.
We had fun last year.
Yeah, it was fun last year. All right, so let's see if we got comments here because they keep going away.
So YouTube, you don't need to log in, don't need to sign up.
So we have a question about YouTube. You don't have to. You can create an account with a sign in and a password, but you don't have to. You can just go to YouTube and our channel, which would be Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque.
And I can actually schedule. Like I can schedule it so they can get a notification.
Courtney said she can schedule it so you guys get a notification. Do they have to subscribe then?
That I'm not sure.
But she will be posting the link right here. So you'll see the link on Thursday night at 7 o'clock, and it'll take you right to the YouTube live. So it's not a big deal at all. And if you still have questions, we can. And actually, maybe we can go through it with the tablet.
Yeah.
Ahead of that time, I can put the tablet on the table and we can show you. But you don't have to have an account. You can watch on YouTube without having an account. Having an account, then you can subscribe and do like or thumbs up or thumbs down, and then like that lets us know that you like stuff or don't like stuff, and
I think they can do that.
yeah. Okay, so now I got to go back to this. So now we have our mask, and the mask I actually painted the purple. So I'm gonna just take my 4595 liner and paint out our mask. And I just go right to the purple or right to the black line. It's not hard at all, you guys. Like you're gonna probably just love the quality. A better quality video for you guys. You can go on there now. Like they're already on. Our old videos are already on there, so you can like just go around there over there and play around too. And we're there, the same as here, Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque. Same name. And then if you are having problems, just send Courtney a message and she can maybe do screenshots or something. And
and then with YouTube, you can actually, if you have a smart device, you can cast it onto your TV.
Oh, so Courtney says if you have a with YouTube, and you have a smart TV, you can even, which we've done that. I've done that at my house. You can actually put it up on your TV if you have a smart TV and watch YouTube right on your TV. So you can like have me like in Big U right up on your TV screen. Oh God, that's scary, you guys.
Full size Brenda.
But it is kind of nice because I've done that myself on my TV. But the last time we painted, I never hooked my TV back up because I don't really watch TV much. But yeah, if you have a smart TV like in your living room, you can actually watch YouTube right on your TV. So that's kind of cool too. Another benefit. So you guys could have little paint parties and everybody could have the same piece, and you could put me up on the TV and you can paint away. We actually talked about doing that at the classroom, except we have such terrible internet at the classroom, it's not going to work.
I'm hoping once the leaves fall, it gets better.
Yeah, but it's still ain't going to be good enough for that.
No, not for that, but some internet over no internet.
So I'm just painting out her black or her purple mask here just to make it kind of neat, more neater. So wash out my brush. So let's see. But again, don't worry. It'll be, it should be good. And you guys, Courtney really thinks you're going to like it better. So like I said, you can always message us if you need to, and she'll walk you guys through it. So it's OS452 purple. We just think we'll have a lot better quality video, especially with the painting. That should help you guys too to be able to see things better. Gotta fight your husband for the remote. Too funny. So now we're just gonna highlight the tips of our shoes a little bit with our purple. Like the moon is shining on it, and then our gloves just a little bit.
Do you glitter your gloves?
We actually glitter them, so you don't need a whole lot on there. And a little bit on this one. Maybe your husband will turn into a painter. We have a couple husbands that paint along with their wives, so nothing wrong with that. Something to do together, especially with winter coming. And let's see, that is probably it for that. Then I'm going to go and touch up the inside of her hood where I have the yellow hair paint. So we're going to use the black, just a drop of black, OS 476 black, and then I'm going to take my liner again. And then I just want to touch up where it should really be black where the hood is, because we have gray and yellow on there. And it just makes your piece look really nice. And you just want to be careful so you don't get it onto the outside of the hood, like I almost did there. Let's see, come here. So we'll keep talking about the YouTube stuff and just kind of get you guys acquainted with it. And
Dry run or something.
well, we can even do a dry run, as Cordy said. Maybe I can come early that night and we can get started early.
Kathleen's husband only base coat. That helps.
Well, the base coating is a big help. That's more than Courtney wants to do.
True story.
So I have to sit her down here so I'm not shaky. So I'm kind of getting black everywhere where I don't quite want it.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I was going to try to take a nap before I came, but that didn't happen. So that you don't want, I actually don't want all that black on the white there. I'll have to come back and touch it up.
20.
Well, we're close to being done. So I'm just kind of filling in like that inside lining of the hood so it's black, it's blacker, so that the yellow hair and the gray isn't all over it. Kind of did it down here as well. It just makes it kind of pop a little bit more. So hopefully I'm not getting out of the screen. Let's see, I got the net on the pond last Friday to keep some of the leaves out of it, so that was good. Hopefully we don't have snow so that it weights it down and it ends up in the pond, but you never know, it could snow here any day. Hopefully not. We've actually had a pretty nice fall, I would say. So that is our black. Kind of got a little crooked over here. You kind of want to not do that. So wash that out. Let's see, what else we got? Probably going to go out of order here a little bit since we're in the black, and we're going to do the eyelashes. So I like to dip in the water and get a little bit of water in there and get that like ink. And then draw my brush through it. And then eyelashes, of course, are the hardest part. So I start on the inner one, and I'm probably going to do it a little different tonight. Just do one long line. And then I'm going to come back and add some little ones by going on that black line and kind of draw it and lift. Draw it and lift. Draw it and lift. Try to keep them kind of small, which that worked out pretty good. So we'll do the same on this side. Draw a real light black line. So I try to keep my brush more up and down for that fine line, and then more at an angle for the wider line. So it's fairly up and down. I also am holding on very near the end of the brush, so I have a lot of control of that brush. I'm resting this hand on my piece, and I have a nice hold of my piece so it's not moving. You want to have a nice solid piece. I push down and draw it near me. So now that side got a little heavier, but that's okay. And then touch and draw, touch, pull and lift, touch, pull and lift, touch, pull and lift, touch, pull and lift, and then touch, pull and lift. So with that little bit of water in there, that helps that flow a little better. So now the first one's a little bit heavier than the other one, so we're going to come back and line this one just a little bit heavier so they both kind of match. So now that one's a little bit heavier, like the eye line of it. So we got that in. Now I do want to touch up my face where I have a little bit of yellow on it, so I'm going to use my Peach Fuzz OS 492. We're probably going to go a few minutes over just so we can finish this up tonight. We're almost done, but not quite. So like I do have a little bit of yellow, so you do want to go back and touch things up. I just have a little size 1 round brush. I'm going to grab some Peach Fuzz, brush it out. Just come back and touch that yellow up wherever there might be yellow on it. It's pretty much just right there. Okay, so we got that done. We can go back now, and it looks like I did her lips with the azalea and a little bit of white. So I'm on number 8. We're going to use azalea with a little bit of white, OS 559 azalea. Just need a little drop of that, and a little drop of white. And I'm going to use my liner again and kind of draw my white into my azalea to get a mix that and get a little pile that's just the right lip color that I want. I don't want them real hot pinky, but you can do whatever you want, whatever color you guys want. Like, there's no written laws. I just want to make sure I have enough. So I want it a little bit darker than that, so it's more rose colored instead of pink colored. So there we go, we got it. Again, I'm drawing that brush through it and turning it, and that gets my nice point on it. So now I just want hers to have some little lips. I don't want real big ones. You could also use chalk if you had chalk. Kind of doing the little M thing right there in the center, and then come down a little bit. Again, that brush is more straight up and down than at an angle to get that nice fine line. I'm really using just the tip of it and not the whole brush. If you put it at an angle, you have more brush, so I'm just using the very tip by putting it up on its edge or up on its tip. So there, she's got some nice light rosy azalea lips. And then we're going to put a little bit of gold on her eyebrows. So I used gold OS 436 gold because I didn't want them real yellow. So we'll get a little pile of that. And again, I'm going to dip into my water and add that drop of water, stir that up, and then turn my brush and draw through it. It just gives you that nice point on your brush. Make sure you don't have a drop of water on your ferrule part because it'll run down your bristles. So now we have our brush loaded. And now again, I'm holding my piece. I'm resting my hand on my piece. I have my brush. I'm holding onto it very far at the end. I'm not way up in the middle of the handle. I'm way down here on the end, so I have good control of that brush. Again, I'm going to do more straight up and down than at an angle because then I'm using the tip of that brush more for these little lines. I'm going to start in the middle and just kind of give little straight strokes where the little eyebrows are. And then we can turn her and do the other side. Again, holding her and resting my hand on her. And then a very up and down brush again for those nice straight or nice fine strokes.
Kathleen asked if you could use chalk.
So we have a question, can you use chalk? Yes, you can use chalk. And I know we had chalk in one of the boxes, so anyone that has chalk, you can use chalk as well. So now I just want to look at my eyebrows and make sure they look kind of even. That one's a little bit further over, so we're going to just bring this one over a little bit. So there she's got her little eyebrows. So now we are going to give her some eyeshadow. And I used medium blue for that. So we'll get our medium blue OS 457. And you just need a drop. And now I just got my color and lid in the orange. And that's an awful big drop, but so let's see, what do I want? I have a little size 0 flat brush. I'm going to dip into my medium blue and brush that out really, really well. I want to make sure I have a really dry brush. Bring my comments back. And now I'm going to, you want to make sure your eye lines are dry, but I'm just going to brush a little bit of medium blue right over the top of her eyelid. And the same on the other side. I suppose we could have used purple too. Just very lightly, because when you spray that, it's going to get stronger. So it's just a little bit. So we got that done. And I think we missed her cheeks. So we have our peach fuzz right here. And to the peach fuzz, I added a drop of orange peel. So that would be this one. Because I didn't want them really pinky, I wanted them more peachy looking. So I'm just like adding a little bit of the orange peel to the peach fuzz just to get it a little peachier. If you have chalk, you can use chalk. So you can see that's just a little peachy now. And then I'll take another dry brush, around size 3. Go into my peach fuzz, brush that out. Make sure it's good and dry. Kind of get the apple of her cheeks with our peachy cheek color here. And again, you don't want to overdo it, because when you seal it, it's going to get more prominent. Again, you could use chalk if you have chalk. Some people use real human blush too, so I mean, there's just more than one way to do most things, so just do what works for you and what's easy for you and what makes that you like. So that's plenty, because that's going to actually get darker when it's sprayed. So you could actually go back over it with the peach fuzz if you wanted, and it would make them just a shade lighter. And I tend to do that often as well. So you can see it's a little bit more muted than the other side. So I do like to do that. That's just something I do. Kind of just blends that skin color together better. So that is that. I do need to touch up my purple up here because it was wet and I got my fingers in it when we were doing the eyes. So at this point I would spray her with the matte sealer. You could also use the brush-on sealer or whatever sealer you use. I like the matte. So here's a boo-boo where I got the purple on the white, just to show you can go back and touch that stuff up. We'll go back to our white. We got some there. Dry brush over that real lightly. Kind of blend that in. So you do want to look for boo-boos that you tend to get. Here's a little orange on our sleeve over here too. And then just check her over. She looks pretty good. So at this point I would seal her with the spray sealer. And then in your little goodie bag, which I moved, you had a couple little things to finish her off. Yes, the glitter goes on the mask and the hands, but you do that after you seal it with the aerosol sealer. And then to do that, I usually put down another piece of paper towel, but we'll be rolling this up, so that's okay. I guess I can put it down. Put the last of the paper towel down here. And then I use a brush-on sealer. It could be the gloss or the matte. Does seem to be a shortage of the brush-on sealers going on right now as well. They couldn't fill our order, so we have some, but we are short also. But I'm just using the gloss because I kind of want that shine with our glitter that's in our little tub here. And then to not contaminate my sealer, I put a few drops on my foil. We'll take a smaller one of the nylon brushes, a size 5, which you guys should have gotten in your box, I believe. Go into the water first, kind of condition that brush a little bit, then go into your sealer, and then brush a layer of that on the wherever you want your glitter. You want to be kind of generous with it. It's white, but it will dry clear. So I'm not getting it down in the black crevices so that we can keep our shading down in there, kind of. And we'll open up our glitter. And you can sprinkle it right out of the container, or you can grab some with your fingers. We'll just do it right out of the container. We'll sprinkle that on our little gloves here. And then we'll go to the other glove. And again, it does dry clear, so that's no worries. So that is how I put the glitter on usually. Huh?
Your original only got more glitter.
It probably did. I don't know. It's possible. I like to put the glitter actually in a salt shaker. Yep, from Dollar Tree. It's just a lot easier to control it. Or you can get the whole bottle on in one place.
That's what I like.
That's cool. Well, I didn't think you liked glitter.
No, but when it is, I like it when it's thick.
Oh, Cordy likes it thick, so let's thicken it up, you guys.
You're chintzy on the other glove.
So you can go back and put more sealer on it if you don't have enough. That's why I put my sealer on my foil. That way I'm not getting my bottle. I'm not dipping in, taking the cap off and dipping in the bottle to get it full of purple glitter that I might not want on the next project. Well, so I made a boo-boo here. I just put the glitter on the little lens parts of the masks. So I'm going to put it around it. Kind of got carried away, I guess. She wanted glitter on everything, so we glittered it right up. Which I suppose you could. She could be looking through glitter, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay, well that's what we'll do. On the original one, I didn't put it on the center part. Yep, this is the box brush that you guys have been getting in your boxes. And you'll have another one coming in your October box. And then, yeah, actually for the rest of the year. So there is her mask all glittered up. I didn't put any on her shoes, just her gloves. So if you want more, you can go back and add more. It's just you get the glitter in your brush, so you don't want to be dipping that in your container. That's why we have it out on the foil. So Courtney wants lots of glitter, so we're gonna, I guess, use up the glitter. You can see you have more than enough. You should have more than enough anyway. Yep, you can save it and use it for something else. So you could pour that back into your container. So there she is, glittered up. Then the last thing is the little, where'd her little string go? Do you see that? I know it was here. I took it out of the bag. Did it fall? So there's there's 2 bags in your bag. Oh, it's in the bag yet. So there's another little baggie in there with a string in it. And we kind of made a little bow for her, like her hoodie strings. So let's put this out of the way so you guys can see what to do. And make sure you wash out your brush really good with that sealer in there, or you'll have a stiff brush. So wash that out. So you can tie a bow. To do that, like pinch, make a loop in one between your index finger and your thumb. Then you have to like turn it around and make another one. So you have 2 loops, and you loop around that one of the loops and pull it through, and then you can hold each loop between your fingers, and then you pull that tight, and you can adjust your loops. You can move them how big or small you want them by pulling on their strings. So we don't want them real big because it's just a little girl. So that's how you can make your loop. We'll do it again so you guys can see it again. So it's just untie it. So I usually just make a loop between my thumb and my index finger. So you got the tail over here and you got your long one. And I usually have to turn it, make another loop. So they're just right next to each other. Then take your loose long tail, wrap it around, and then you can pull up your string through it. Then I usually take my little loop that's on each side and hold it between my fingers, and then just pull that, and it just anchors it down. Now you can pull your ends. You can pull one of the ends, the short end, and then you can pull your loops and pull it one way or the other way to make it even. So this side is a little off, so I'll pull it back. So now they're kind of even. So now you can take them, kind of hold it with the strings, and I just use E6000, or you can use hot glue, and I moved the E6000. Yeah, no, I moved it. So I just take the E6000 or hot glue, put a little bit on your little tie on the back, and then just put it like on the center of her chin there where the white is. You can just hold it for a minute. I usually try to make one go down, and then you can take the scissors, no scissors, and you can just trim them however long you want them. Oh, Courtney's got scissors. So I left them a little bit long, one a little longer than the other one. Here you go. Like, so you can hot glue it or E6000 it, but then here you have her cute little, like she actually has a cord going through her hood. And that is all it is to that, and she's done too. So I can clean stuff up here, move things aside, and we can do a quick little show and tell. So I hope you guys enjoyed your October box. Give us some thumbs ups or hearts or something so we know that you did, so we don't know what to kind of look for next year. If you like the little detail, all the little detail stuff.
You should ask them if they like spooky Halloween or cute Halloween.
Cordy says I should ask you guys like cute Halloween or spooky Halloween, because we so we can for next year when we pick things out. So these are our finished pieces. So it looks like we're getting lots of hearts and thumbs up. So you guys must have liked it. So that's great because I wasn't sure with the Sweet Tots. So that is great. Susan says she enjoyed stumbling across us. Well, we are glad you did too. Looks like you guys are liking them. So that is your pieces for October, and we're done with that now. Then here are your pieces that we are currently shipping. It is a Mako. They're both Mako molds. We have the fluted pumpkin and the knitted pumpkin, and that's what we're shipping now that you guys will be getting. If you still want to get one, you can go on Brenda's brushstrokesandbisque.com. There's a few left yet. You'll be getting your emails over the weekend that they're with their tracking numbers and whatnot. And then a few of you were able to add extra pumpkins, and then we'll have more extra pumpkins again next month. Where's the green one? Oh. So we have the beaded pumpkin. And then we'll have like 10 to 12 of these again for next month, but I have to let the molds dry here next week. So we have the beaded pumpkin, we have the oval pumpkin, and then we have the squatty pumpkin that we did with a leather technique. So the box pumpkins will probably take 2 nights, and then we'll have 2 nights that we will do bonus, probably do the beaded pumpkin one night, and then this leather technique another night. So those will be free classes for you guys. You could do this leather technique on any pumpkin that you have. It doesn't have to be these pumpkins. But it's using tissue paper. So if you're going to follow along, you'll need some tissue paper. And that's really all you need is the tissue paper, some thin tissue paper that we're going to crinkle up and put on there. But those are the extra ones we'll be doing. And then these are your box ones that we will be starting next week, and they'll go really quick. So again, it's our Mako fluted pumpkin and the Mako knitted pumpkin. So we hope you guys are enjoying your boxes. We're enjoying having you. And then I guess we will be catching up with you next week. We'll go over the YouTube stuff again. Hope you guys, like I said, enjoyed it. Probably watch for some pictures. Who knows what we'll all be up to in the next week, because there's lots of stuff going on here. But we've been firing in the garage with our new kiln setup, and that works great. So both big kilns are working, and we just have to get one kiln out at the classroom yet. So you may be seeing pictures of that. But otherwise, have a great week, you guys. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we'll catch you next week. Have a great week.